What's up, y'all? I'm PC McCray. You can call me P.
Hey, y'all. My name is Shaun the Head. You can call me Shaun the Head. And this is the Everything Has Changed podcast.
From 2 college roommates to 40-something adults, life has been lifing, and we want to talk about it.
We are the new adults, y'all.
How did that happen?
I don't know, P, but we got to talk about it.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Hello there, Shonda.
First of all, P, why do you keep using my government name lately?
You know, that's how I say your name. I've always said your full name or Shaun John.
Have I not? No, you always will say like Shaun John. You're not around here talking about Shonda. And so I realized that the last episode, and you know how somebody, you know how you
say your
you
whole name.
Yeah, and then they call your whole name. Like, wait, what did I do? I did something.
No. And Shaun John is all messed up now because of Diddy.
Yeah,
so.
You said you couldn't call me Shaun John anymore, which I respect and I approve that message.
Yeah. So it's just like, okay, Shaun, I'll just call you Shaun. Shaun.
You've been calling me Shaun. And then you was like Shonda. And I said, uh-oh.
Shonda. I just like it. I like the name. Maybe.
How are we doing? Oh, thank you, Pete. Do you know, let me just use this opportunity to tell this story.
Yeah.
Because apparently I've heard 2 stories about where my mama got my name. One story was that she got it from a waitress. Mm-hmm. And then one story was that there was somebody on a soap opera who had the name. And then it's like, where I get these 2 stories from? Why do I have 2 stories? I don't know.
Right.
I just always thought that was interesting. And then so whenever people meet me, they want to call me Chandra. Or they're like, oh, is it La Shonda? Is it Rush Shonda? Is it Tush Shonda? Because I know all them people, I'm like, no, it's actually just Shonda. And it's not too many until Shonda rhymes. I promise you. I really had not even seen anybody else. Because she spells it differently. But that was the first other person I saw that it was just Shonda. And then since then, of course, I've seen some just Shondas. But my there's always a debate about my So thank you. I'm glad you love my name.
I do. You know, names mean something. And for the longest, I did not like my name. Because, I mean, a little girl, it sounds like an old lady. A little girl named Phyllis riding around on the playground. Like, it just, it was tough growing up.
But weren't you named after like a grandmother or something? Okay.
I'm named after my maternal grandmother. So around the family, I was known as Little Phyllis.
Oh, that's cute.
I know. It's so cute now, but I was like, ugh, back then. And I think I told this story before. My grandmother's only living friend now, Miss Mariah, is 96, 98. She still calls me Little Phyllis. And I honor that. It's precious now. And through Ancestry.com, I found that my grandmother's grandmother was named Phyllis as well. So it means even more now. I know. So I'm like, I carry it. No. I carry it now. It is what it is. But back in the day, people didn't believe that was my name. Like once I got to college age and adult, I would go out and let's say I was at the club or something. Hey, what's your name? What's your name? Phyllis. That ain't your name.
You giving out fake names at the club.
Right. I'm like, why would I lie about Phyllis of all names? Like, what? What? All right. No, straight up. I've gotten that but I do use my middle name when I'm ordering things. Because somehow people cannot pronounce Phyllis.
What?
I get Phillips. And when I graduated from grad school, Shaun, I think I told this story too. When I was crossing the stage, now mind you, they made us fill out our cards. Phyllis Christina McCray. That man said Philip Christopher McCray at Florida State now, mind you. So names like,
oh my God,
big names. I'm not even going to go about the names, but you can only imagine.
International name. It's Florida.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't.
Oh, those were fine. Those were fine.
He practiced on those. He practiced on Phyllis.
He practiced. I don't know what his mind saw. And this is a white man. So he's clearly as I'm walking, and if somehow if I could find the video, I know my family, they were watching, they saw me kinda hesitate because like mid-stride, I'm like, "What?"
He ain't calling me. He called somebody else.
Philip Christopher McCray. Phyllis Christina McCray. He made a whole, so I get Phillips a lot, um, like
That's
Starbucks.
ridiculous.
I gotta do an experiment and just record. People do not believe me, but they cannot say it. I
Wow.
know. I know. So
That's wild.
there's that. I know. Wild stories. But
There's
yes,
that.
I
Well, starting
am
off on a good
proud.
tangent.
A good tangent right
Good
off the bat.
tangent to start off.
Right off the bat. How are you doing?
Doing just fine. And I'm excited because I wanted to ask you how your trip went that you just went on. I'm ready
Yes.
to hear all the tea, all the details. P went on a cruise, you guys.
I went on a cruise. I got an
Mhm.
opportunity to get away and relax. The village kicked in. I had somebody every day had an assignment for dad to make sure that
Good.
he was taken care of. So that part, I was like, okay, I know he's good. And each person just checked in when they were supposed to. So that was out of the way. I felt good
Mhm.
about that. But yes, Royal Caribbean, we did the Utopia of the Sea, which is one of the newest cruises or ships, newest cruise ships, and it was built July 2024.
Oh, it ain't even a year old.
No, no, and it's huge. I did not feel like I was on a ship at all. When you
Mhm.
first walk in, it looks like a mall.
Mm.
It really looks like you're just at this outdoor mall. It's beautiful. They did an excellent job with it. The shows were amazing. They do these aqua shows. So at the very end of the ship, they have a pool and they do an aqua show where they have Olympic level divers, the synchronized swimming girls.
Mm.
It's it's amazing. It's an amazing show. And they jump
Mhm.
off the diving board and we're like, oh God, how deep is that? Because that just looks scary.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
It looked, oh, I was like, "Oh, don't fall, don't fall." But it was beautiful, beautiful. Every show had, Broadway level performers.
Oh,
It
nice.
was amazing. It really was amazing. But I get tired. It's like, how are you tired after the vacation? The good
Yeah.
thing about cruises, you can just chill out. But they give you so many things that you can do. You have, okay, we gotta be here at 6. We gotta go eat. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. I sat on the balcony at one point and just stared at the water.
Mhm.
And I just needed to woo-saw. I fell asleep. That's what I wanted to do. The last time I was on a cruise, I think I told you, I cried at a woman teaching her child how to do the electric slide.
Oh.
I
So that
was
you that was what, last when did you go on that cruise?
That
That was
was
last
last
year?
year. So
Yeah.
we go
Okay.
every year for my mother-in-law's birthday. This is her
Yes.
birthday
Okay.
trip. And as a family, we take this cruise.
Mhm.
Last year was the first, right before mom's first year or the
Right.
year anniversary. And so I was, just a sobbing mess.
Yeah.
And it's one of the parties, the deck parties, and they're doing all the line dances and they play the classic electric slide. There's so
Mhm.
many line dances now, but the classic electric slide. And
Mhm.
I'm watching this lady teach her daughter how to do the electric slide because that's not really played that much, but that is foundational. They need to
Mhm.
know. But
Yes.
she's like behind her and she's doing her shoulders and she's trying to teach her,
Electric
you know.
slide. Do,
And it
do, 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 do.
reminded me of when my mom taught me the electric slide. I
Mm.
distinctly remember us being at a family reunion and she was like behind me and she's like, okay, you do this and you bring it
Oh.
back up. And I
Yeah.
just burst into tears. Just burst into
Mm.
tears. I said, "What in the at the electric slide? Electric
Well, if
slide?"
you got a
So
specific
this
memory about
time,
it, that makes sense.
it brought it back. It brought it back.
Mhm.
But this time, I just sat out. I didn't weep, but I shed tears because you're in the middle of the ocean. It's breeze. I'm sitting on the balcony and it's like, God, you know, just praying, just talking to him.
Mhm.
And I guess in that release, it made me cry. But I enjoyed myself. Now, there's a debate
Good.
amongst my family and people. Some people like Carnival cruise lines better than Royal Caribbean. I am now a Royal Caribbean girl and fan. I do not want to go back to Carnival. But it's about it's about vibes. It's what you feel like. It's not, you could turn up. They have aspects of turn up, but for me, I wanted to just chill out. The
Aspects of
shows
turn up
were
is
much better.
aspects of
Is it
turn up.
hey, it's different. Now I'll say their club, I didn't even go because I already knew. It was terrible. But so what they have to do with Royal is, of course, your sail away dance party. They're gonna play some EDM. They're gonna do it. They're gonna start with that and then work their way through pop, R&B, hip hop, the line dances, all that stuff. They did Boots on the Ground. So
Is
they do
there
all of that.
is there only one club though? Do they have like a black night or something? Like, but it's
Right.
like, is
No.
it? No, it's just it's gonna be
Yeah.
EDM every night you go, and then it'll get around to.
Correct. The later you go into the night, that's when
Okay.
different areas within the ship had like a Latin band. There was a country at part. So those different spots had different music. However, the club played everything. They had a
Well, did they have
reggae
a?
section.
Oh, okay, they had a. I was about to say, okay, they got a country section. Do they have a regular?
Yeah.
Do they got
Yes.
R&B hip hop
Regular.
area somewhere?
Yes. Now that depended on the night at that particular bar. But so
Okay.
then Royal Caribbean, that's Royal Caribbean. It's a party. Like that's really what it is. They play mainly hip hop, R&B. They do the EDM, but you're gonna get in the club. It's straight up, especially after a certain time. It's just straight club, like everything.
Okay.
So that's fine.
And you were saying the carnival is the one with the fights and
Yes.
stuff that you see
So,
on social media.
and to give a disclaimer, people be fighting. They fight on all of them. However,
Okay.
most of the videos that are on the internet are Carnival Cruise
Mm,
Lines. Matter of
mm.
fact, the last one we went on, there was a fight, like in the club,
Were y'all
actively.
there when it happened?
Yes.
Oh my God,
Yes.
what did you do? Cause there's
Went
nowhere to
away.
go.
You run out the club on a ship, girl.
What do they do? Okay, cause well, I'll preface this by saying I don't do cruises.
Yeah.
I am as in I have no interest. I will not be going. I probably died on the Titanic or something in a past
Okay.
life. Like I
All right.
literally am not.
The
I am not.
drama.
Yeah. I went there. Okay. I am not. I literally, if I look out the window and I can't see a piece of land, I'm going to freak out.
Mhm.
I'm going to lose my
Mhm.
shit.
Mhm.
Okay. And now I have been able,
Mhm.
so I've done like a riverboat cruise, where you go and they serve you dinner and they have like a live band. And, it's like
Yes.
4 or 5 hours in the evening. Cause I can look out.
Yes.
I'm sitting down eating my food and I can look right here and I can see there's a shore right there. Now, can I
Yes.
swim? No. So if there was an issue, I wouldn't be able to make it to the shore. But it makes me feel better. Now,
Yes.
if I'm on a boat in the middle of the ocean,
In the middle of the oceans.
I'm going to lose my shit. So it's not for me, but I do recall watching a cruise documentary or a documentary on
Mhm.
cruises, and they were talking about how there's always fights. Now, I don't remember, like, maybe they did call out Carnival because I feel like they did call out certain ships or companies when I was watching it. But of course, I don't know nothing about none of them because I never been. So they may have, but they talked about fighting and how there. If I want to say they have like a not a jail, but they do have like a
Mhm.
lockup in case. But then it's
Mhm.
like usually when people get to fighting and stuff and it's broken up, but you still on the ship with these people for a week. And so they
Mhm.
still running into each other. It's like,
Mhm.
what? Whose idea
Yeah,
was this? And
yeah.
then they were talking about how the nursing and like doctor staff or whatever don't be up to par. Sometimes they don't even be on the ship. It's like,
I
oh,
don't
I was like, I can't believe people do this.
Yeah, and I am not a cruiser either. Since being married, this is when my in-laws have introduced me to
Mhm, mhm.
cruising. The first one, I think we started doing this maybe 5 years ago. And I too, Shonda, I freaked out. Once we got out into the sea on our way and you just look out and it's just water, no land. See, we're just out here. And then when it's nighttime, it is dark.
For a week. Jesus.
I can't no. So this was 4 days. We did do a 7-day last year. We won't be doing that again. I can't go
Okay,
that long. We can't
okay,
none of us can go that long.
okay.
But same, I'm not a cruiser. It's cool to do once experience, but that would not be my choice. But God bless to those who do.
God bless. I feel like
Yeah,
I saw a clip of Quinta Brunson talking about how she don't do cruises, and I
yeah,
was like, "These are my exact thoughts, Quinta."
yeah.
I have to, I'll find the clip for you guys and put it in the show notes, but I was like, "Exactly, exactly." But
Yeah,
I feel like like, if for you, it sounds like it's still good because if you just wanna lay, you know what I mean? It sounds like it did what it needed to do for you, you know? Even though you're not a
correct.
cruiser, you found your spot, your area, or the things
Mhm.
about it that you like, and you lean into those things, and then you come back
Yep,
refreshed. Although look,
that's
tired
it.
and refreshed, as vacays
Tired
tend to
and refreshed.
yeah, vacays tend to do
'Cause
that.
how do you get off the? Because what happens is when you dock, you're getting off, you have to be up and out of the boat by, like, maybe 8:30 because they're preparing for the next cruise. They gotta get in there, clean up, gas up, refuel, all that stuff, and they're shipping out
Right.
later that day. They keep it going. It's a
Wow.
whole system here in Port Canaveral, Orlando area, Central Florida area. So from my house, is about an hour away, the port,
Okay.
and it's the largest port. All the cruise lines, Carnival, the Disney cruises,
Mhm.
Royal, it's everybody, everybody. So the big ships. Now Miami also is huge, but Miami is oh,
Yeah, I always hear
their
about Miami, so I don't think
their
I
port.
knew about any of the other ports.
Yeah, we'll prefer to leave out of Orlando as opposed to the Miami port because it's just
Mhm.
whoa, whoa, whoa. We did go. So this one was 4 days. We went to Nassau, and then each cruise line has their own island where they build it out and they have different parts. So you have the adult only, the children, different parts. This is called Coco Cay. So your
Mhm.
perfect day at Coco Cay. And you dock and you're there till like 5 p.m. The purple flags were up, which means marine life was around. There was
Oh,
a
so
shark sighting
oh, that
on
kinda
one of
marine
the
life. I thought
yes.
dolphins. No, you talking sharks. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
dolphins."
Yeah, I mean, the fish are there, so,
Mhm.
they're like, "Look, y'all in our house."
Mhm.
So the fish are there. It's beautiful, it's clear, you could see them. So it's like, "Alright," and most of them will move away once you're walking, but once they said there was a shark sighting on the other part, 'cause we were in the adult only, but the other side of the island per se, they had to get everybody out of the water. They had to rush them out,
Mm.
and I was like, "Well, we're just gonna do the pool."
Yeah.
We're gonna do the pool. We're gonna just stick to the pool area, the swim up bar.
Something that I haven't done that I wanna do is snorkeling, and
Mm.
so when they drop you off, like, so when you go to the Bahamas or anything, do they also have stuff like that or, like, swim with the dolphin or whatever? Yeah, or is it just like, "Oh, you can get off here, you can shop souvenirs, you can eat some lunch." Do they have other, like, activities?
So when you're on the cruise, you can purchase excursions, which
Excursion, okay, yeah.
ATVs, jet skis, riding the dolphins. Nassau has swimming with the pigs somewhere. No, I
Excuse
don't
me?
want to swim with it. Uh
Oh,
huh.
you know what? I saw Tabitha Brown. with the pigs
Yeah.
one time.
Mm-mm.
I
No,
did see
thank you.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you
they be
can
in the
purchase
water.
you can purchase that through the cruise line, and it's safer that way.
Okay.
However, people, because of course the island, it's a hustle. They know when the boats are coming in, so they're trying
Yes.
to get money. And they say, "Oh
Yes.
well, they're charging 250. I'll give you 100 for my jet skis." So that's how people get left. So if you go through the cruise
Oh.
lines excursion, they know when to cut it off and to get you back,
Oh.
get you enough time to get you back to the dock so you can go through the processing and get on. If you go through somebody else, you're out there having a good time. Time
Yeah.
flies by, and you look up. Wait a minute, we were supposed to be back by 3. It's 3:30, and when I tell you they honk honk, that captain pulls that blows that whistle,
Uh-huh.
and they're shipping off. So you see the videos when people are running, chasing the
Yeah.
boat. Those are
Yes,
real
yes.
things.
Hey friends, we're so thankful for your support. If you want to be updated whenever we drop a new episode or when we drop some of the special things we've got coming, head on over to everythinghaschangedpodcast.com and drop us your email so you can stay locked in. Cool? Cool. My God, because so that they be like, oh, I got this for cheap. And that's why.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's designed to it costs, yes, but
Yeah.
it's designed to make sure that it's part of the cruise, you get back safe, you know who you're dealing
Yeah.
with for the
You're
most
just
part.
paying for that.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the islands, because they know essentially don't mess with the tourists because this is our business. So for the most part, everybody, and they'll tell you, hey, don't go off to, even the locals will be like, don't go there.
Yeah.
You stay here. You stay within this area. Don't go over there.
So that
But
still reminds me of
yeah,
regular. So that part reminds me of like regular vacay stuff, right?
sure,
You know,
sure.
like so it seems it's because I know I went to Jamaica one time for a wedding, and It's it just reminds me of, you know, how when, like, they're dropping you off and they're
Mm-hmm.
like, "Okay, now you're gonna get bum rushed, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
don't pay attention to them. By the way, they gonna try to, grab your
Mm-hmm.
wallet. By the way, if you use American do" you know, they give you, like, this real quick rundown,
Mm-hmm.
like 10 rules and regulations, and they be like, "Now go,
Yeah.
and meet
Yeah.
us back here in
Yeah.
3 hours." It's so funny too because on that same trip, they booked a not a cruise, but they booked like a boat, and it went around somewhere, and and then it dropped us off somewhere, and so I had to decide if I was gonna get on a boat or not because I told you I don't do okay. I was like, how far from the shore is the and they said, well, it's gonna take like an hour to get, or maybe it was like 30, 45 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
And then because the thing is, it was a snorkeling. So I'm like, oh, we're gonna go snorkeling. So I'm thinking snorkeling off the beach. No, the snorkeling is in the middle of the ocean.
In the
They
middle.
put you
Mm-hmm.
on. I was
Yeah.
like, what happens? They put you on the boat. They take
Yeah.
you to the middle of the ocean. About, oh, this part of the ocean is really shallow. Excuse me, sir. We're like an hour off. What do you mean it's shallow over here? Is it not shallow at the beach? And they're like, no, this is where the fish are. And so everybody's like putting on flippers. And, then, so you're gonna drop us off in the
Yeah.
middle of the ocean? I can't
Right there.
swim. And I have a friend who's a flight attendant, right? And so your flight attendant, you have to be trained in all these things. So of course you got to know how to swim and all this. You got to know all these life saving measures, and they go through like a whole boot
Mm-hmm.
camp school, which I had no
Mm-hmm.
idea. And then they have to be able to carry a person of a certain weight through the
Mm-hmm.
water, like
Mm-hmm.
because they have to be able to save you. And I said, "Hey, girl, you a flight attendant, so I need you. I need you to agree to save me.
Keep your
If
eyes
I
on
need
me,
keep your eye."
please.
Meanwhile, her boyfriend there too. And I'm like, he can swim. Don't worry, don't save him. Save me. He can
A
swim. He
mess.
can make it. Meanwhile, so moral of the story, I did not get off that boat. I did not jump into the snorkeling, talking about we're gonna send you off in the middle of the ocean. So then I'm sitting on the boat. But I was proud of myself because that it was scary to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could see the shore. It was very, very far.
Yeah.
And then it was one of those boats where the middle is water, if that makes sense. Like they have a net on over it and you can lay
Oh,
on the
yeah.
net, or they could take the net
Yes.
off and you can dip your feet in the water. I said,
Mhm.
"Man, people really out here wilding." But when I'm on a vacay, I
You
girl,
call it
I was like,
wildin'.
"People really do this." But I do try to stretch myself when I'm on
Mhm.
vacay, just a smidge, cause I wanna say I did something or I tried. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, I don't wanna be I some stuff, I'm a scaredy cat, but I was like, "Okay, if we'll never come back here, then, you gotta at least." So I'm like, "Okay, I'll get on the boat with my friends."
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? So I did do that. I made her agree to save my life, but then I didn't go. I didn't
You
end
didn't
up.
even go out there. She was like, "Girl."
Yeah, she was probably glad too, cause I wouldn't. I would be like, "You guys save me, not him. Okay, he's gonna be good. He can swim. He's fine. Me,
Oh, yes.
save me." And then when we went to
No.
Guatemala, one friend turned 40. Went to Guatemala. We went to this lake. I think it's called Lake Atitlan, and it's supposed to be the most beautiful lake in the world. That's
Wow.
supposed to be its name, and people travel there. When you get to the airport, then you have to get in a van or whatever, and you have to drive 3 hours to get to the lake in Guatemala, and you have
Mm.
to drive up a mountain
Mm.
because the lake is made because it's in between some mountains. So you have to kinda drive
Mm.
over a mountain to get there, and then there's a volcano to the left. And it was her birthday trip, so I was like, "Well, I'm just going where she going, it ain't my trip," you know? And I was like, "Okay, so we're going." It was so beautiful, P. It was the most beautiful, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just glad I have friends who research this kinda stuff because I
Yeah.
would have never decided to go here." I felt peace like I never felt peace before in my adult life when I was there. And I was like, "I
Water.
see why people dream of just going to another country and, like, living on a beach somewhere. Because
Mhm.
it was so peaceful. We had an Airbnb that was, like, a lot of rooms or whatever. It was a group trip. When it was time to go somewhere, whether it's shopping, whatever, you had to get on the boat and cross the lake to get there. So I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay."
The
So it's like
fairies.
boat taxis. Yeah, yeah, ferries, but they were really like a small little boat just for your group. So I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay, well," they said it's a 20
Mm.
minutes to cross the lake, and I said, "I'm here, my friends, I'm with my friends. It's gonna be my little adventure." P. That boat ride, it was like
Bless your heart.
I don't know if it's called a speedboat, but it's the kind of boat that the front tips up so
Yes.
that you can go. And
Get
then
there.
so the back was like hydraulics. Boom, boom, boom. It would kept bouncing off the water. Our butts hurt.
Yep.
That's how hard it was bouncing off the water. And everybody was scared. And then we was coming back at night one time. We was leaving dinner and it was nighttime. We had to come back. We were just praying.
Mhm.
We were like,
That's it. Just pray.
and the
And
man driving the
and the
boat was laughing
locals,
at us, but they
'cause
didn't.
they do it on purpose, and they
I
don't
said,
care
"Y'all do this all day, every day? Like y'all not
all
scared?"
day.
Like,
No. They like, "This is what we do."
holy, that boat ride was worse than girl.
That's hilarious.
So on a vacay, I will attempt to stretch myself and do something I wouldn't normally do, mainly because
Yes.
my friends are doing it, peer pressure. But when I come back, I'll be happy that, oh, I did something. I ain't got to do it no more. Okay,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
I did it, and it makes me feel good, like I had a little adventure.
And that's what it's about. This time we didn't
Yeah.
do excursions,
Mm-mm.
but before we've done all the things, the snorkeling, the jet skis, all that stuff. So once you do it once or twice, it's like, all right,
You like a jet
what
ski
is
too?
beautiful? Oh yeah, I'm a
Good.
daredevil. I go, I'm riding.
Are you?
I push that thing. I'm gone.
Do you do, or would you do, what's it called when you
The zip
uh,
line?
zip line? I would do that. Would you do that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I could do that.
Zip
Like, heights
line,
don't bother me.
ATVs, you name it. Now, I
Ooh,
did get
ATV.
lost in a Mexican desert,
Okay.
on an
No, 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 no,
ATV.
no. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Mm, mm.
You were on the ATV?
Yes.
Were you, 'cause the
We were
ATV
with a
can was
group.
somebody with you?
No,
You
but
were by oh my
we
god.
were with a group, and we were supposed to be following each other. However, these were, um, not automatic. They were you had to shift the gear. So, at the
Oh,
beginning,
no.
They taught us how to shift gears. Now, mind you, the English isn't that great, and it went really fast, but enough to like, okay, we're rolling. Okay, all right. I was with the group, but there's a part where we can like really take off, and I got stuck in the dirt, and then I got to go take off. By then, I saw the dust trail, but I got to like a fork in the road, and I had a
Uh-oh.
decision to make. Did they go right or
Why would
did they
they
go
just
left?
leave you? It seemed like there should
Now,
be somebody in the back.
there is. They have people that's coming up and helping. So eventually somebody would have found me. But if I didn't make the right decision, thank God, I said, Lord, you got to
So
help me
you
on
did
this.
make the right decision
I
though.
made right. I went
Okay.
right, but it
Okay.
led me to some houses. And I was like, oh God, Jesus, did they really go this way? Because by then I said I made the wrong decision. But as I kept going, I saw that it was all part of the excursion. Yeah, that part was not fun.
Yeah,
But
that sounds
overall,
scary.
yes, I'll do it. I'll do it all. I'm an adventurer. I love to try it, except swimming with the pigs. I'm not gonna swim the pigs.
Would you know how you always hear about people go backpacking like across Europe or something? Would you do that and stay in hostels? No, because I seen that
Mm-mm.
movie. Okay, we ain't doing that.
No,
I seen the hostel.
no. And I don't like to be dirty for too long. I'll hike.
Yeah,
Like I will
yeah.
do hike and go do a trail, but I know I'm going to take a shower. So the
Exactly.
backpacking and being out in the woods, I never and
Mhm.
camping, even glamping. No thanks. I'm all right. Give me a
Glamping is okay.
hotel. I'm not. I don't want to be in a tent. Mm-mm,
I went
mm-mm,
camping,
mm-mm.
for real, for real. I'm sure I think I've done it, like, once as a kid, but I went camping for real some years back. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but that also, I will say, the park that we were camping in, campgrounds or whatever, they did have a bathroom, but you had to drive to get there, but at least you knew,
Okay.
like, so the women, we would the women who was on the trip, we would like, "All right, guys, we gotta go up to the bathroom,"
Right.
cause so that I'm sure made that easier. It ain't
Yeah.
we didn't go up there like 5 times a day. You try to, wait it out, but
Yeah. Most campgrounds now, if you're doing the campgrounds, they have showers and things like that. That's just not my groove.
yeah.
So, but overall, it was nice. It was nice to get away. I had to recover from the trip. So the next couple of days, once we got home,
Mhm.
it's like, okay, just sea legs. I feel like I'm always moving. It takes a few days. Although I didn't
Oh,
feel it on this one. This was the largest ship, one of the largest ships in the world. So I did not feel like we were on a boat. I took my
okay.
Dramamine maybe twice.
I was gonna ask you if you got seasick.
I get a little woozy, and so as the years have gone, the very first one I had to take because it was a small boat and we felt everything. But
Mhm.
I can feel if I take an elevator too many times, I get woozy.
Mm.
So I have to be careful with
Mhm.
that. But overall, it was great. It was a lovely time to get away. Got back, made sure dad was good, and God is good. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have these breaks because it's necessary.
Yes, I'm glad you got to go.
Very necessary.
Mhm. Good stuff, P, man. And the summer is just I guess it ain't even officially summer yet, so who knows what other experiences you gonna have for the rest of the summer.
Summer, summer, summertime.
Now, were you able to watch or use your devices? I know nothing about this on a cruise. Because I wanna
You
know if
can
you watched forever, but I realized you would have been on the boat.
y-
Or
so
the
yes, you can order or buy the internet package
okay, in that
for
package.
devices, and
Okay.
all that stuff. And if your carrier has an international plan, you can make calls and use WhatsApp and whatnot. But I saw I saw the show before I left
Okay,
on
cool, cool, cool.
Netflix.
And you finished it.
I finished it.
Okay, so we gotta talk about it, P.
I binged it.
P, first of all, I've been on my reading kick.
Yes.
heavy. I've been finding it hard to stay on board with TV when the books is taking over. I've actually just found out that, do you know there are people that read and they don't see it in their head? I did not
Yes,
know
just like
that.
people don't have an inner monologue.
So they must be the same people in my
Yeah.
head. That's a very big assumption I'm making. But so I was like, well, what then is the point of reading? If you don't read and see a visual image of what you're reading, I then don't understand why you would be reading. Because to me, that's the whole thing. And so now it's like a movie in my head, right? And so I love listening to audiobooks just because I'm always like, am my computer working? Or if I'm driving to get my daughter or whatever, I'm like, I be speeding through them things. Then I up the speed depending
Mm.
on the narrator's voice. Um, I will say though, now I'm adding in ebooks, and then oh, you're gonna be so happy for me, P. I found me a bar. I took the trek up north, found me a Barnes and Noble. Remember we talked before about
All
how
right.
they closed all the Barnes and
Yes.
Nobles in the black areas. I went up, I dropped my daughter off, and I went on up the road, got me some books. So I'm back on my physical book kick. All right. But
All right.
so I'm trying to add it all in. I'm trying to be immersive. They say people with ADHD do much better if they listen to the audiobook and read the book at the same time. Cause it like
Mm.
covers both channels and you can really stay, because a lot of people
Mhm.
with ADHD get distracted when physically reading. So anyway, going on a tangent as I do. I find it hard to watch TV, and that's really upsetting for me to say because I'm a TV girl.
Yeah.
Um, but I have not been able to make it through any of my shows that I like. Forever is the first show since I started back reading that I finished. And the reason why I think my brain has become like that, at least right, I think it's always phases, so I'm sure it'll ebb and flow. But if I'm reading like
Mhm.
a 15-hour audiobook, that's like 15, let's say 15 episodes of TV versus this
Mhm.
show might be, you know how they do now, 6 episodes. And it's like, or, okay, I can watch the show with 22 episodes, okay, get some good TV in. I think
Yeah.
it's the same way. And so it's way more, it envelops me more, the books. But Forever is the first show since that started that I finished. And I don't really know why, because again, my favorite shows I have not been able to watch. Like I love Last of Us. I haven't made it past the first episode. I haven't watched the last season of Severance. Like I'm falling off on all my A1 5-star shows. But I was able to watch Forever, and I watched it straight through pretty much over 2 days. So not exactly a binge, but better than what I've been doing. First of all, I'm so happy Mara Brock Akil is back. Like, we
Yay.
went on a run with Mara Brock Akil, didn't we, P? From
Yes.
Girlfriends to The Game. And then remember she did Love Is?
Mhm.
That Love Is show was so good.
I
They
loved it.
got picked up for a second season and they canceled the second season. And so now we was just out here. Like, we didn't get no ending. We didn't get the rest of the
No.
story because it's really kind of based on her.
Uh-huh.
The Love Is was based on her. So that was upsetting. I'm so glad she's back. She is so, and Mara Brock Akil, for those who don't know, is like the showrunner of Forever. She was also the showrunner of Girlfriends, the showrunner of The Game. She came up with all the, if you like me and you follow like TV production and stuff, she came up with all the people. Like they all was in the group together. So they worked on certain shows, different where all those kind of shows they worked on together. So her voice is so specific, and I'm not saying I forgot how specific it was, but I forgot what it felt like to watch one of her shows. And I know that people love the show because Black joy, or just telling a regular Black story that don't involve, some of these tropes that come in on Black stories. For me, I didn't cry. I didn't
No.
cry. I got emotional at some points because what she's very, very good at is being so specific that when you watch these shows, you're like, that exact thing happened to me. Down to the words, like that exact sentence came out of somebody's mouth, or I said that exact sentence, or that exact thing happened to me. And so, yes, you're gonna get that if it's a coming of age story, but then it's a coming of age Black story. Which now you think about it, well, when's the last time we had a coming of age Black story? I'm sure we've
Exactly.
had them, but I was hard pressed. Like my mind went back to The
The
Wood.
Wood,
Yes,
Inkwell,
Inkwell. Yes,
that kinda, I guess, Love and Basketball-ish?
yeah,
Because it
kind of. But all of
took
those
them from
was
high school?
so like we talking 20, 25 years on
Yes.
some of these stories. But the specificity of this stuff, like there was certain things that happened and I was like, that happened to me. And then because of the situation that it happened in, that's what would make me emotional. So that's why I think, well, I can't speak for other people, but for me, those are the parts that make me emotional. A lot of people got a lot of emotions watching this thing, but that was what it was
Tell
for
the
me.
people what Forever is about. Like,
So
Forever, it's on Netflix.
yes, it's on Netflix. It's 8 episodes. It actually was a book by Judy Blume, which Judy Blume was also my girl back when I was like
Yes.
elementary and junior high, but it's by Mara Brock Akil. So she made the story about Black teenagers instead, and it's more
Mhm.
it's more modern. It takes place really in 2018. Um, but for all intents and purposes, it's modern, especially compared to when the book came out. And so she got the blessing from Judy Blume to do the story, and it's a completely original story then now, and it's about two kids, I guess, from different sides of the track, but they knew each other as literally as kids, like in elementary school. They find each other again in high school, and they become each other's first love. Which that that's a roller coaster in itself, girl. So it had such great,
Girl.
yeah, girl. I loved Wood Harris, who played the dad. We know him from The Wire and a lot of
Yes.
other things. But it's like he always plays, well, a lot of the times he might play like a not an all the way great guy. So in this one, he played the daddy, and he was so good. But
He
he
was
was in
good.
love with the wife, but he
Mhm.
also, they kept each other in check.
Mhm.
But then when the son was
Respectfully.
like, "Well, mom," respectfully, the son was like, "Well, mom is a lot. Some women can be a lot." And then daddy was like, "And I love it. I
Mhm.
love that she's a lot, and she's why how I got to be who I am today. Like I just loved all that. I love the mother. I love her name Karen Pittman. She plays the
Yes.
mom
Love her.
from the morning show and the Sex in the City
Love
show,
her.
and she's not doing Sex in the City anymore. And I was sad when she said that, but then they kind of, well, it's a Sex in the City, so she wasn't going to be a main character, but
Mm.
she got a lot more juice in these other shows, like a lot more screen time and stuff. So like with the morning show, she's big time on there. I love her. So then when I saw she was playing the mom, I was like, I would at this point watch anything that lady is in.
I love her. She's really good.
Amazing. People were
She's
talking
really
shit about
good.
the mom, but I feel like they made it so layered. So it could have been annoying at some time, but on the other hand, it's literally exactly real life. Like this is
Yeah.
like exactly the Black mama. Like,
So, specifically, Mara Brock Akil, she made this in 28. So she made it so that we're looking at them in 2018. And in that world, she says she wrote about how Black parents felt about their children, specifically their Black boys, because that's after Trayvon Martin and George Floyd. So we were
yeah.
heavy into
Well, that's
into
before
that
George
world, wanted
Floyd.
to,
But she
but
was in between those two
she's
bookends.
right. So she's
Mhm.
saying that's why that was the way she was thinking of creating this world. And so I think people didn't notice that or forgot why she was so hyper vigilant on her son, this Black boy. Also, I appreciated her. They also too, the husband and the wife, kind of different tracks. Same thing, because the dad didn't go to
Yes.
college. He was a
Right.
chef. She
Mhm.
went to Northwestern. They summer in the vineyard.
Mhm.
This is a whole thing.
Mhm.
And I appreciated the point of view of the first relationship from a boy, from a young man standpoint, because it's always the
That's a good
girl.
point.
He was very emotional. We saw him fall in love. We saw him get giddy when she
Yes.
called or text, or if she
Oh,
didn't respond back fast enough. We
yes.
usually see the girl freaking
Yes.
out over a boy. Now, Lovey, who was the character, what was her name on
Keisha.
the show? Keisha. So Keisha, we saw her reactions and as she was falling in love too, but seeing it from the young man's perspective was so refreshing. And again, people were
Yes.
like, "Oh, he's soft." He's no. Now y'all know, back in the day, your first love, and there's a lot of guys that still upset because somebody broke their heart in the second grade.
Yeah.
So it was wonderful to see him on that side and process it because he was doing a lot. Justin, bless his heart, he loved her. He loved
Yeah.
her, and he was doing a
Yeah.
lot though. He loved her so much, but he
But it
was
was
doing a
his
lot.
first love, and it's
His
like you
first
don't
love.
know
Mm.
what's quote unquote right to do or wrong. You just be open. That's a really good
He
point,
was
P. I
so
didn't think about that
cute.
from the it P
Yes.
because, and I'm not gonna say the things that happened for real, but when he was like depressed, oh, that poor baby.
Yes.
I really,
Yes.
I didn't get emotional. Well, I was emotional at that point. I didn't cry. Okay, which is great for me, by
Yeah.
the way, because I'm a crier. But I felt for him. People were talking bad about Keisha, and I'm like, y'all not watching the show? Like,
They're not watching it.
I'm not saying that she was all the way right or anything, but they were very clear on showing all the layers
Mhm.
of what people were going through. And then you got these are children, basically. Like, we talk a lot about when the frontal lobe is
Mhm.
all the way 27, right? So if you're talking about 16, 17-year-olds, we are watching a show about teenagers, guys. Why are you sitting here expecting her to make all the right moves and do all the right things? That doesn't make sense. She's 16. Like, and that's why it makes it a good story,
Right.
because it's going to be it was it was really good.
And we meet them. So of course they know each other from elementary school, but they get reintroduced. Is it there at the end of their junior year into the senior year? I can't remember it because it was before
It
the
was New
summer. They
Year's
had a
Eve.
summer
Yeah, it was New Year's Eve of their junior year.
junior year. Okay, so yeah, 16, 17 years old. These are babies. So they're not making wise decisions. And as adults, we're looking at it like, oh, y'all don't remember doing young and dumb stuff, being in
Right.
love,
People really be acting,
having feelings.
and
She
thinking
was
about stuff from
very,
our age. And it's
yeah,
like, you wasn't a 40-year-old. You didn't have a
that
40-year-old
part.
brain at 16, you guys.
You
You
was
was
young
doing
and
this
dumb too.
you
You
were doing your
thought your high
version of young and
school
dumb.
your high school love was y'all were gonna be all right when y'all go to college, separate colleges, and still be together and be in love. Cut it out. Stop it.
And you
So
know
I
what?
appreciated that she was mature enough to say, "Hey, let's live. It's okay that we break up." She was like, "I'm going to Howard and I'm trying to be free. I get,
No,
bro.
but but
Let me
she
give me
wasn't with the
space."
breakup at first. She wasn't with the breakup. She thought they was gonna stay together but be separate, and it would be cool. And then he was like, that's not really cool. I'ma just follow you, right? But she was like, we're still together and we'll come and visit. But
Yeah,
you know,
that wasn't gonna work.
but that also struck me though, because that literally is a conversation that happens to everybody
Mhm,
who has a boyfriend or girlfriend when they graduated
mhm.
from high school. I remember when that happened to me. And it was so interesting watching it, because it's like, she just really writes real life so well,
It's
because
real.
it is bittersweet. I just watched
Yeah.
yesterday I watched a TikTok of a lady whose daughter was crying because she was graduating. And the lady's like, "Why are you crying?" And she was like, "Because I'm graduating and I'm not ready. I don't think I'm ready." And her mom was like, "You've been talking for 4 years about how ready you was to graduate." And she's like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, but now it's here and it doesn't feel good." And I was like,
Real
that's
life.
exactly what happens. And then when you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, it's like, okay, so this is our last summer together, or are we going to like that is a conversation. Like
Yeah.
I was the one in, like I was like, hey, hey, we should just break up.
Yeah. Because what are
And
we doing?
he wasn't with it. But I was like, I knew that it wasn't like I even wanted to be free, but it's like the amount of stuff that you was gonna we're both gonna have to go through. If I'm in my last year of school, because we were a year apart. So if I'm in my last year of high school and you're in your first year of college, all the transitions and different things that have to be going on, I felt like I got to be damn near married at 17, 18 to kind of fight for that.
Yeah.
And my head wasn't there for that. And
Same.
so it was like we have our summer and then you off to college. Bye bye, my friend.
Bye.
And that's how much it didn't go well because when he came back home for like homecoming or whatever, high school, he had people thinking we were still together.
Oh, he was deep.
And he didn't know that he was talking to one of my really good friends. And she was like, I seen old boy. And he said, y'all still
Oh, bub.
hold on.
Hmm.
So it is
Mm-mm.
very real. It's a very it is very bittersweet. And I remember feeling that way when I graduated from like elementary school. Or no, it's from junior high school because I was in magnet, right? Which for high achievers, which meant we was very mixed, white and black. I lived in the black side of town. So the white people had to come bus to us in order to be in the high achievers program. But it was very clear when we went to high school, they was gonna go back to their side, right? Because now they got good programs or whatever in their high schools. So we knew we wouldn't see our white friends no more. Now, there'd be a couple that you keep in contact with, but you have to be almost to the extreme in order to really follow through with that. And then your kids. So I remember feeling that, like, oh, we're all being broken apart. Like every time there was some sort of graduation, I've had that bittersweet feeling. So
Same.
for them to put that in the smallest stuff, she's so good. Mara Brock Akil she's so good at this. She's so good at this. And the actors are amazing. Yes, everybody brought their A game. You know, we're really having a good year with black film and TV. We're
Yeah,
having a
everybody
good
was like,
year.
oh, we got Sinners. Now we got Forever. Keep it up. Keep
So
it up.
my dream is now like, oh, I really hope that Judy Blume was like, hey, why don't you make a black version of all of my of all of
Like, go
my
ahead.
books? I'm
Mara,
like,
you
can
could
we
just
get
take them all.
can we get a universe
Oh.
going? Can we get some more Judy Blume classics? And yeah, really
Well,
good.
from
Yeah,
my
go ahead.
understanding, they've been offered a season 2.
Yes, they were offered a season 2 like the first week. They
Yeah.
were the number 1 show. Why do
Yeah.
people keep I don't know why people keep shitting on black projects because
I mean,
clearly,
you know.
clearly, we these people at top of their game. They got second, and
Yeah.
also I don't know if you watched Survival of the Thickest, but she got a season 3 to say because
Yes.
I think Netflix had their upfronts that week or something, so she got her season 3.
Mhm.
Michelle Buteau, I like that show. It's about a plus size black woman in her dating life. Really good
She's
show.
a mess.
So I love her. I love her. But
She is a mess, child.
yeah,
A true character in
yes.
that show.
So
Um,
good. Yeah, it
but
got picked up. And I was
yeah,
like, well, what's
second
the next
season.
season gonna be? Because that was the book.
Right. So now
Now she can do what she want.
it's all Mara. Right. Exactly.
Excited.
And you know she's gonna tear it up. So I'm thinking if Keisha went off to Howard, and so they're in LA. Let's for people who
Mhm.
haven't seen it yet. These kids are in LA. Keisha is a track star, and she has decided she wants to go to Howard. Justin, he his mother is pushing him to go to Northwestern, her alma mater.
Yeah.
So that gives you a little insight. I mean, she was pushing him. I will say the scene where she was, because he's a basketball player,
Yes.
but I feel like parents know. She said it a little rough, like, son, you're not going to the NBA. So I want to prepare you for life beyond basketball. Like, let's
Yeah.
think of some things. And it comes out that he has ADHD. So he
Yeah, which they
has
had
a
been
learning
alluding to the
disability.
whole series, but they didn't say it straight out to the end. But I was
Correct.
picking up on that.
You're like, what's the deal with Justin? He's a little, and then
Because
he's
he
like,
had to
okay,
listen to stuff that had to be read, he had to listen to it instead.
yes, yes.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
all of that, the mom during 2018, so that she has that on her mind, making sure my baby don't get killed, making sure he's prepared for life, knowing he has this disability or learning disability.
mhm.
She just was so she was pushing him in her, she was thinking she was doing the best, which that's what your parents are supposed to do. Some of the stuff, the way she said it was like, oh, whoa, mom. But he needed to hear it. And at the end, I love that they could communicate with him. They gave him the tools to be able to talk to his parents.
Yes. I do think that is one piece though where I was like, that's not the most realistic because usually kids don't make it there before they step foot in that college. Usually the kid goes to that college and then they come on back. Like some money
He
gets
wasn't
spent.
going to make it.
He know he wasn't gonna make it, but usually a child that age is not going to get it, especially with a
Mm-mm.
mom that with that kind of pressure. They
Yeah.
not going to be able to tell them the truth right then like that, you know? And so usually that's when you get the stories of people going off and starting college and then being like, you know what, I dropped out 2 semesters ago. You just say no or some shit. But it
Yeah.
was
Justin wasn't going to make it at Northwestern. He didn't want to go. He was truly
only
going
because he didn't
for
want,
her.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's
And
not
I
what he
did
wanted to
like,
do.
cause it was the gay uncle who was like,
Oh, I loved him.
you ain't
Oh,
going
I
to the
loved him.
NBA. But I did like that he started pressing them on like, and why isn't he going to HBCU? And I was like, that's
That
right,
part.
sir. We
That's
need to
right.
talk about this.
I loved him. He kept it real. He said, "Nephew, I love you, but sir,
And
let's
then
just
she
keep it
was like,
real."
you need to, you hold on, you went too far. And I like that too. What I didn't like,
That's her baby.
because I be watching this lady, they added some wrinkles and stuff to her face. And I didn't like that. It's like, or
Yes.
she, you know, like first of all, when you
That
black, you don't know what age you could tell because of the makeup that they use. It's like some extra. It was like, okay, if y'all were gonna do some kind of prosthetic type stuff, y'all let's we could have done a little better on that. So I don't know if it
specifically
was the
one
makeup or
scene.
the mhm.
Yes. One scene, they were in the vineyard, and it was in the morning, she was having the conversation with the husband. I was like, "Wait, what's going on here? What happened with the lighting?" I saw that. I saw that and thought the same thing. I was like, "What?
They
What's
added something
happening?"
to her. I don't know if they wanted her to make her look older, which
You
that
have
don't
to
make
do
no sense
that.
to me because we be looking all kind of ages, you know. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I watch this lady every week on something. This that's not her face.
Yeah,
Like
they didn't
some
have to do
they put
that.
some extra, yeah. So
I love it. I'm curious on how what like you said, what are they gonna do for season 2? We're gonna see how they did, how she did it, Howard, and how he's doing with his passion.
or
So we'll see.
what if they threw a whole wrench or whatever in the thing and made it like an anthology, and so it kept being seasons of a different coming of age story. Now, we
Ooh.
like Keisha and Justin. So we probably would push back on that because we want to see Keisha and Justin. But it's like they also could go that route too and just keep using two different kids for different type stories. But I don't know
Mm.
what they're gonna do, girl, because if they're gonna be showing them in two different places the whole time, I don't know. They're smart.
It's
They're
gonna
gonna
be
come up with
creative.
it's
It's gonna
gonna
be
be good.
great.
She's so
I
good. I'm so glad she's back.
I wanna say too, Shonda, have you ever been to Martha's Vineyard?
No.
'Cause
But
oh,
I know it's a whole thing.
it's
I've
a
always
thing.
heard about it. But
I was thinking of you when you talked about the boat. You have to take a ferry to get over there.
it ain't across the ocean. Like you can see
No.
It's like a river to
Yes,
get
but I
there?
was like, "Ooh,
Okay.
we'd have to make sure Shonda just stays in the
No,
part
no.
where
I've
she's."
been on ferry boats. Okay, thank you very
It's so
much.
funny. It's
I've
so
taken
funny.
ferries to cross. It's really the cruise that I'm never doing. But I can take
The
a boat. I
cruise.
can take a ferry to a place. I've done that.
I'm so proud. But
Yeah.
I appreciated, the Martha's Vineyard of it all, the Black folks who summer there. Now, I
Yes.
don't summer there, but I do have family that does or used to, and so they would take us, and all of that was amazing. Like, the Black folk that are on the island,
Mhm.
how they do applaud at the sunset.
They do?
It's a thing. You go to the
Wow.
beach, and they'll play music, a trumpet, or something, and you applaud to the sunset.
Hmm.
It's so it's like, what do we do? It's just beautiful. Beautiful to see.
That scene when they were on their bikes in the trees, oh, that was so pretty for
It's
that
so
to actually
cute.
exist. Man, and they were just so happy,
Yes.
like their faces lit up.
It was good.
Man,
They had great chemistry. I
yeah, they
appreciated the
did.
show.
They've done a
I'm
lot of
glad it's
interviews
season
together.
2. They have. They're so cute.
They do have good chemistry. And that girl
So
looks just
cute.
like my friend. And every time I'm watching the show, I'll be wanting to call her, be like, girl, do you know this girl? She looks exactly like you. Like that's your younger sister. I think somebody just ain't told you because
Uh-oh.
the way that she's built, everything look exactly like my friend.
Adorable. I love
Yeah,
it.
man. It was good stuff. And then so in that same vein, they're doing a reboot of A Different World, which they haven't said yet whether it's gonna be like a sequel or all new, but so they haven't said if any of the other characters are coming back. I bet they do though. But Debbie Allen is spearheading it. I hope that Lena Waithe is involved because she has been on her own petition to get A Different World to come back.
She has, hasn't
And I
she?
know that she's close with Debbie. So I bet she's involved somehow because she has said that's her dream project is to bring A Different World. And she said that like 5, 10 years ago. I know I had a dream like when I was going to go to Hollywood and write for TV, when that was my dream, that was my dream. Was like, and then I'm gonna be over there when they bring A Different World back, when they do a sequel, and I'm gonna get to write for the show. Like that was like a dream of mine. And it's
Yeah.
crazy that they're actually bringing the show. It's gonna be on Netflix. Oh, wait.
And Lena Waithe, she named her company, her production
Yeah.
company, Hillman
Hillman
Grad.
Production. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
she's
She's
in it.
serious.
She's deep into
She's
that
deep in
world.
because she worked for everybody involved. Like there's this whole group of Black
Mhm.
women that came up through like Black TV in the 90s. They were
Mhm.
assistants, they were staff writers, like lowest rung. And they're now the women that are running shit. Or, we're trying to get, they took a lot of our stuff off TV. Now they starting to bring stuff back. But back when we had all those The Fresh Prince and A Different World, and of course the Cosby Show and the Wayans, bro, like all the shows. There was like a core group of Black people that worked on those shows, and so when Lena Waithe started in LA, she was assistant to all these people, and assistant to Ava DuVernay and all these people, and so that's why I'm like, I bet she's involved because now she's like a heavyweight.
Mhm.
And she has been one of the main voices talking about we need to bring this back. So I'm excited for whenever that happens. I hope and I'm sure. Maybe I did read like a log line about it because it might be that somebody's kids are now there. Maybe like Whitney and Dwayne. I don't know if that was just a theory or if that was the truth, but I do
Right.
believe the older characters will be involved in some way. And that would be amazing. Amazing. Good with
Yeah.
pulling up the facts.
It's cool.
It's
I'm
exciting
excited.
to me, man. That's A Different World. Really, it changed the game for a whole lot of people. It really solidified my choice to go to HBCU. For people who dream about working in TV, that's for Black people. That's one of the main shows that they call on as well as to why it was such a seminal show. So knowing that Debbie Allen's gonna be over it again because Debbie Allen she didn't start on A Different World. They brought her in like the second season, and she turned the whole thing around because they weren't
And
even
there's
gonna
a
get picked back up.
difference.
Yeah.
There's
And
a
it got real
clear
black,
difference.
didn't it? It got real like again though, when you can tell these specific stories, that's when you can really affect people, when they can look on TV and see themselves. So she's like, no, you need this kind of character, you need this kind of character. They need to go through these kinds of things. And then they had all this pushback about the stuff that was going on in real life that they wanted to put on TV, like the apartheid show with South Africa, and then the show where they did the Kim dressed up as the mammy, or of course the
Oh,
Rodney
yeah.
King. Like they got all kind of the age show. Like she was the one who came in and said, "No, these are the things that young people are going through, and we need to talk about these
Kimberly.
things." Yeah, man. Ooh,
Excellent
I'm
show. I love
excited,
A
but
Different World.
um I meant to say earlier, I was one of the people that wrote the letter to the company to bring back was it Girlfriends or the Gang? It was Girlfriends that got canceled
We wanted
before
an
they didn't
ending.
even give them an ending. And
Yes, we need an
they
ending to
took them,
Girlfriends.
but they took them off of one channel and ended up bringing them back and putting them on, and they brought them back to CW. I was one of the people that wrote a letter to the company. They asked for people to petition. And it was literally like the last black show left at the time when they took it out. I remember because that was the whole harping point. Like we used to have all these shows on at once. And now we only have this show and y'all have taken it off. And then it got moved to another channel, and then it went off. They
I
didn't give
would
it no
like
ending.
for some closure on Girlfriends. Tracy Ellis Ross is amazing. I think she could pull in a lot of eyes. If they can pull it together, I would love to see that. Give them a
Absolutely.
nice ending, some closure.
Yeah.
Another nostalgic piece is the podcast of The Living Single, Maxine Shaw, attorney at law,
Attorney at
and
law.
Sinclair.
That makes me so excited, and I think this was the perfect time for them to do this. And then, because Erica Alexander, well, she stayed in production. She's done a lot of projects, but she's back, in front of the camera on bigger projects now. Because she was in that movie. What was the movie about the writer with Jeffrey Wright?
Oh
She
gosh,
was
just
his
because you
like
said
lover.
something.
It was a good movie too.
I'm gonna look it up.
And I think she helped write the movie. Like she helped create that movie as well. But I'm so excited just that she be outside, and I don't know if it's
American
2020 or
Fiction.
2021. American Fiction, that's it, with Issa Rae too. That was a good
Mm-hmm.
movie. And I was
And
happy to see
Tracy
her,
Ellis
but
Ross.
I think Erica Alexander was a part of actually, I don't know if she helped write it or produce or what, but she was a part of the production. So that's cool. She's been doing a lot of things. But I wouldn't be mad if they brought Living Single back. That was my all these was my show. I found out when
Single.
it was either 2020 or 2021. I found out that Sinclair was on my email list. And
Really?
I freaked out. She bought one of my Story Bond boot camp. Had to be. Had to be. Yeah. I cause I seen it. Cause you can check at the end or you can check whenever you want to, like people's names and emails that come through that buyer thing. And I
Yeah.
had a thing that it didn't go viral, but it got a lot of sales in a short period of time because it was COVID. People were just now at the house and starting to, it was a time for us online people. And I saw the name pull up and I was like,
Kim
okay,
Coles.
yeah, people have the same name all the time, like that
All
could
the
be.
time.
And then I looked at the email and it was like, it had something to do with her production company, something. I said, holy shit.
Sinclair James.
And so I didn't look again because, people unsubscribe all the time. I said, I don't want to look and see if she unsubscribed. It's going to hurt my feelings. But that was cool. I was like, okay, Kim. I'm excited about their show. The last clip I saw, Regine was on there, which Kim Fields. And I love her. It was just a really good ensemble. It was really good.
And it's good when you still call the actors the characters. Like,
yeah, I bet
John
they don't like that,
Henson
but
is Overton Wakefield Jones.
Wakefield
Like
Jones.
that's just who he is. That's just
Yes.
who he is. Kyle Barker Regine, Khadijah. Now Queen Latifah can go back and forth because she does so much, but
Yeah, yeah.
she's always Khadijah.
Yeah.
Khadijah don't need you.
And Maxine said that a lot of
Maxine
people
Shaw.
tell her that they went into law because of her and her character.
Mhm.
And I'm like, see,
Mhm.
this is the impact that you can make.
I love it.
So
I miss
good.
them.
Yeah, the
Miss them.
nostalgia is because that's what it is. Right now is a really good time for nostalgia too, P. It's a
It is.
really
We
good time
need
for
it. We
nostalgia.
need good things. We need happiness. We need just something that's engaging and that shows us in a different light. And I appreciated another thing about Forever. It Keisha was quote unquote on the other side of the tracks, but it wasn't the typical stereotypes with her. Her
Right.
mother worked hard. Yes, she was a single mother, but her dad was involved in a different way. He was chasing his own dreams
The guy from
and
Love Is.
love it. I love him. I love
Yeah.
him.
They brought
Oh my
him back.
god.
I said, yeah.
I just appreciated that it didn't, and even with the scene with Justin driving, and not to give it away, but I was like,
Yes.
"Oh, I don't wanna see that. I don't
Yeah.
wanna see it." But I appreciated it gave us just enough of that fear, like, "Oh, we know what could happen. We know what's going on." And I felt his it made me feel nervous for him.
But we also felt that because don't you feel that when the police car pull up behind you?
Yes.
Regardless of any of that other stuff. It's like when
He'd
a
be like, "I
police
didn't even do
then you
nothing."
be like, "Oh, shoot, let me are they coming for me? Or are they coming for somebody else? Are they coming? I don't know. Oh, the lights is on. Oh, Lord, I gotta pull over." You start
"What'd I
pulling over and they
do?"
keep on going. But it's like that happens all the time too. So
Yes.
it's like, yeah, it could have went here, but then also for anybody watching, you know that what that feels like,
Mhm.
man. So
And the boy, his dad telling
ugh,
him the steps, what to do. He made him run through, "What do you do if you get stopped?" And
yes.
he made him run down the list of how to keep
Mhm.
himself safe. It just it was so
He and
real. I
the
loved
boy
him.
the boy from you know the show.
This
The
is
show.
us.
This Is Us.
Yes, this
My
is us.
issue
Young,
this is
young
my issue.
Randall.
Randall, he's such a cute little boy.
He's
But
so cute.
when they added that hair, I said, "Okay, guys." Because you
Yeah.
notice every time there was a different phase, they changed hair. So, like, Keisha always had the extensions in different styles, and then there was a switch up, and she had her natural hair out, her curly
Mhm.
hair, her fro, and and Justin had cut his hair. So the other guy, they was like, "Well, we gotta change his hair. We're gonna add some hair." Like, how this boy hair get that long
I
if it's the
know.
same year? That's the only
Showing their
part. But
evolution.
his hair and the mama's extra prosthetics. Now those are the only things that and so none of that had anything to do with the acting or the story. So it was it
Oh,
was
it was a great show. We
it
recommend it. Go see
yeah.
Forever on
It was pretty
Netflix.
quick too, you guys. So if you like the episodes were like 40-45 minutes long, but they seem to go much quicker than that. I don't know what it was, but I
Mhm.
zoomed right through that thing. So
Yeah.
it doesn't take much time at all. You have to watch if you haven't.
Go
That's your
support.
homework.
That's your homework. Go
It's your homework.
support. Go see Forever on Netflix. And
Mhm.
look for season 2.
Mhm.
Anything else, Shaun? That's on your mind?
No, man. I feel like I might need to rewatch now. And I got myself all pumped up talking about it.
Because I'm sure there are things we missed.
Yes.
We could
Always.
we could talk about this for days. The
Mhm.
relationship with Keisha and her mom, and even her toughness, and the things that she was trying to do to protect her, but it came off harsh.
But
And
it's
Keisha felt
like
like she couldn't talk to her. She was trying to protect her.
she was trying to protect her. And then also, if she hadn't have said and done those things, I would have been looking at her sideways. The
Mhm.
mama.
Mhm.
You know?
Mhm.
I did have a problem though when people were like, "Oh, thank goodness it's not another show about black trauma." And in the first episode, we found out what happened to Keisha. I'm like, is that not traumatic to you guys? Nobody thinks
Right.
this is like, there is trauma here. Hello. Like, are we just skipping over this? Then of course by the end you see she didn't necessarily take it that way. But she did, but
It
that
was the
I was like, people keep
embarrassment.
saying, "Oh, there's no trauma." So thank goodness, like there is trauma here. And again, that's another story that's very
Mhm.
specific. We had a girl like that at our high school who came from another high school. I was friends with the girl. Then people literally came up to me. You heard about your friend, right? You know that's the girl from the other high school. You know they got this tape of her. Like it literally, and I was like, that's
Wow.
not true. That can't be true. It was true. It was true.
That's
And so,
awful.
but so it's have very, very real stories. They gave her a nickname and all that. So people was yeah, they call her this. And I was like, are you sure? Cause she can't,
Young.
yeah. So the specificity of it all is what got me.
It was great.
Yeah.
I appreciated as all aspects of it. It was really well done. Well done, Mara Brock Akil.
Well done.
Looking forward to more.
Spectacular. Give me 14 more of those. Spectacular.
As always, you can find me at Better3701 on Instagram.
And I'm on Instagram and Threads at Hey Shaun the Head. And the podcast is also on Instagram at The Everything Has Changed Podcast. Come check us out.
Thank you.
Bye.
Want to stay locked in with us so you never miss an episode? Visit everythinghaschangedpodcast.com and join our email list. That way you'll be the first to know about new episodes and all the fun stuff we have coming your way. Meet us over there.